Hello, this is QuickSkillz, and today we're going to be doing a review of the PlayStation systems and ROMs included on the Super Console X2 Pro. This is a retro console that I have reviewed here on my channel, so if you are curious how this performs, go to my channel and look for that video. Also, if you are looking to buy a retro console and you haven't purchased one yet, go to my description of my video. I have put a link that'll take you to the exact AliExpress listing for the Super Console X2 Pro so you can purchase it for yourself. Now, in this video, we are going to be looking at PlayStation games and PSP portable games. This device will not handle PS2 games, so if you're purchasing it thinking you're going to play a PS2 game or newer, it will not handle that. We can see here that the PlayStation system includes 655 ROMs, and if we go over to the PlayStation Portable, we can see that it has 90 games. So let's jump into the PlayStation Portable to see what games are in here. I will say that I have played a couple of these, and some of them did not work, but a majority of them did work. So keep that in mind when you purchase this device, that you might have to do some troubleshooting. But let's jump right into Need for Speed Most Wanted. This is a game for the PlayStation Portable, the PSP. And one thing that you can do is once you're in this game, you can load and save and load states. So we're going to load the game that I was in. So here we are, we're in the game that I had quick saved, and I am using the analog stick to steer. And we do have, wow, those cars just kind of like jumped on me. And we are playing this game on the PSP for the Super Console X2 Pro. So the graphics look pretty good. We have rear view, we're driving pretty good. And as I mentioned before, some of the PSP games did not work, or they were real buggy. I think Castlevania Symphony of the Night didn't work the way I thought it would for PSP, but as you can see, this game is working. So let's go ahead and exit out of here and go on to the PlayStation now. So in the PlayStation list, we're going to scroll through. There's 650 plus ROMs. There are going to be some duplicates, so some of them had a Japanese release and some of them had a US release, and so there is going to be some duplication there. However, I will say of those 600 and some ROMs that you have included, all of them work. I've played a lot of PlayStation games on here and I have not had to troubleshoot a single one. So even though I haven't tested out every single game myself, I can tell you from the games that I have played, they all seem to be working quite well. And if you are a fan of PlayStation games, this is a great way to jump back in and play PlayStation games at home without any kind of configuration. And here we have Castlevania Symphony of the Night. We're going to jump right into a save that I had created, and you can quick save on this device. So if you don't want to load into your games, you can. So if we look here, I'm going to pull up this menu by holding select and X on my controller, and I can save states or load states. So if we load state, it's going to take us back to where we were, and you can see I am playing this game. All the buttons work. They are working exactly the way we would expect them to work. The sound actually comes in good. I just don't know if the music for this game is going to be licensed or not, so I'm not going to put it on there. Is that in Spanish, or is that the way he's normally supposed to talk? Because I haven't seen any other language in there. Let's see, Richter. Yeah, so this is a Spanish port of the game, so that's hilarious. I just noticed that right now. So hopefully you know Spanish if you're going to play Symphony of the Night. Let's go into Crash Bandicoot, and here we have Crash Bandicoot, and everything is working good. Let's see if there's any English or any text on the screen. I want to see if they're all in Spanish. I haven't noticed that language issues on any of the PlayStation games I've played. So let's see if we pause, push select for map. Yeah, that was in English. So it seems like Symphony of the Night, never noticed, but that's in a different language. But here we are playing Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation. Everything seems to be working, and as you can see, the sound is coming in nice and good as well. Never really played the Crash Bandicoot series. I never really had a PlayStation. I got to play it at some friends' houses, but I never owned one for myself. So if I ever do a playthrough of Crash Bandicoot, I'll probably record some highlights and see what my experience is like. But so far, this game seems pretty good. Pretty simple. And since I lost, I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the next console. So here we're gonna try Megaman Legends. So we're jumping into a brand new game of Megaman Legends. So here we can see the game is loading up. Alright, we're in the game now. It's showing me how to play. Wait a second, should be Reaver Bot around here somewhere. Can you see it? I never did play this game. This would be the first time I'm playing it, and not sure how. So it's telling me how to lock on and target. We don't want to read those instructions again. Seems pretty straightforward. I was holding R1, not R2, so that was my issue there. So we're shooting and blasting things. Game's working. It's kind of cool how you can like rotate the camera a little bit. Well, this is Megaman Legends for the PlayStation. Move on to another game. Here we have Mortal Kombat Trilogy. Let's go ahead and load right into the fight. And I was never really good at Mortal Kombat games, but you can see here it's working. I'm Cyrax. And that was pretty good. You can literally spend hours playing through all these games. There's just so much content you can play on all these games. And the way the controls work, they're all the way you remember them. You might have to do a little bit of configuring with the map placement, but I am playing a PlayStation game with a PlayStation style controller, and so I didn't really have to do any kind of configuring for this type of game. But some of the arcade games you do have to configure them so they'll be more comfortable to play. So let's move on to the do I know no, I don't know a fatality. Move on to another game. And one thing that I was noticing with this one is there's some kind of like icon under Mankind where it's telling me what the CPU is doing, and I don't know if that's how the game's supposed to look, but it's telling me like what button it's pushing. And yeah, I'm not very good at wrestling games. I was able to squeak out a win in Mortal Kombat, but I don't think I'll be able to do anything. There we go, I got a punch in. This is Smackdown for the PlayStation on the Super Console X2 Pro. If you're thinking about buying one of these devices, I think it's a really great investment, at least for a toy to have around the house. Trust me, if you have people coming over and you want to kill some time playing some of these old video games, it's a lot of fun. Jump in and play some of these games, and you'll spend a lot of time on them. And retro games are sometimes hard to find. They're kind of costly on top of that. And then to have room for all these old retro consoles is quite a challenge. And sometimes they don't even play on HD televisions. You have to play on the CRT. So to be able to play PlayStation games like this and then switch over to the PSP, and if you've seen my complete review of this device, there's Nintendo games, Sega games, arcade style games. So to be able to switch from one to the other without any kind of configuration, you're just gonna hit start and select to exit. I think it's really cool. Well, that's gonna end my review of this device. I hope you enjoyed the video. You have a good day.